Hello, it's your ever-friendly idiot in Max. So, right, we're back. Let's get rid of him because he's not part of the deal, I don't think. There we go. Let's have a quick look at a modifier stack. So, what we're going to use. So, primitive-wise, what can we do? Let me do two things. Let me just do one, and I'll come back to a video in a minute. I mean, you know, I could tell you what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to go and do it anyway. How about we do this? So let's go and do an extended primitive, and we're going to use a chamfered box. Or if you're in America, you call it a chamfered box. It's chamfered. Come on. I know you sort of run the world, but it is chamfered, not chamfered. So learn something while you're here. The proper English is chamfered. There we go. So we've got a little chamfered box kicking about here. Now, you'll sort of more or less guess that there's not a lot of polygons making this up currently in the height. Okay, so let's go and do some things and show the nature of what a stack can help you do. Not that you're going to go and build this ever, I wouldn't think, but day one you might, I don't know. So let's go and add a modifier. So this is all to do with just showing you how Max works, by the way, so you can sort of get an idea of how Lightwave Core will work in about 20-30 days time-ish, or sooner, depending on how development goes. Anyway, so chamfered box, we'll leave it what it is. I'm not going to go and change it into polygons or anything like that. We'll leave it as a primitive, and we're going to go and add a bend modifier to it. Let's go and add a bend. So okay, and then we'll go and bend it over. So angle of the bend is sort of that much, and what we can see at the moment. Let me zoom a Rooney up here. That's a bit too close, Stephen. There we go. Zoom a little bit in here. We've got a very twitchy mouse on this one. You can see that it's going to do a bend, but look, there's not enough polygons to make the bend work. Now, because we've got a modifier stack, we can step back down a modifier stack. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add some height segments, because height segments at the moment is 1, which is not enough to make a decent looking bend. So let's go and add some height segments. There we go. So can you sort of get a bit of a flavour of what this is all about? Okay. So okay, bend's pretty cool. Let's go and add something else. So let's go and add a, let me think, let's go and add a twist modifier. So T for twist, twist modifier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the bend off. Okay, so I'm hoping in Lightwave Core we get some muting functions where you can turn modifiers on and off, so you can like tweak something and turn it back on again, just to check what you're doing and changing. So at the moment, to do a twist, the twist is going to happen after the bend. It's probably not going to be the best way of doing things. So it's going to switch the bend off. So the bend is switched off, and we can sort of zoom back a little bit, and we'll alt round that a little bit, and then we can sort of add some twist in it. So let's go and add some angle of twist. Now we've got some height segments working here, so we're pretty cool. Okay, so let's do that. So that I quite like that. Okay, so that's twisting around. I quite like the idea of that. That's cool. And if I'm going to turn my bend back on again, it all goes sort of a bit not so good, does it? So what I'd like to do is change the order of how the Modifier Stack works. What I really want is my chamfered box. Obviously you need some sort of geometry to work for a start. Then I want to go and twist it, and after I've twisted it I want to go and bend it over. Okay, so all I'm going to do is going to grab the twist modifier where it is, click on it and drag it down until it's below the bend modifier, and now you can see what's happened. What we've got now is the twist is happening and then it bends it over. I'm still not that happy with this though, so let's have a look here. Let's go switch these both off and go back down to just the chamfered box here. What I really want to do is maybe I want to change the actual dimensions of this and make it sort of not so chunky looking. So let's dial this down a little bit there. I'm going to go and dial down the length of it there. It's a bit thinner looking. Yeah, say about there. So now when I go and twist it, it's a much more thinner looking thing, and then when I go and bend it over, it's a bit more useful looking. Quite like that. But I think we can do a bit more with it actually. So let's have a look. What else can we do with this? Let's go and add a taper modifier. Okay. So let's go and add a taper modifier. So to get through the modifier stack again, it's the first letter on your keyboard will jump you down to that area of all these things in the modifier stack. So T, taper. Let's go and add a taper. So I've got taper at the bottom. So let's say how much do you want to taper it? I want to taper it quite a lot towards the top. So take it right down there, and then I want to go and add a curve to it. So I want to sort of bend it in so it does that. How about that? That's cool, doesn't it? And then we can then have a look at the twist. How's the twist work? Yeah, that's quite nice. Maybe want some more segments, so let's go back down to the chamfered box and go and add some more height segments. Maybe do that. Okay, it's a bit smoother looking. Let's turn that off for a minute. Yeah. That's sort of getting there, isn't it? Yeah. And you can even add some more width segments as well. So you can add one in there, and you can add one in there if you really wanted to. There you go. Turn that off. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then we can then switch the bend on, and then it bends over. Okay, and obviously when we get the old cheers and go job, then we can go to sort of frame 33, and then we can go to the bend here, and we can sort of say, you know what, that's going to be 90 degrees there, and then back down to here, and we're going to say that's 0, 0, and then we have a animated bend. Okay, and that sort of is sort of that. There are extra functions in these modifiers. You can say where the center of your where the starting point or the center of your gizmo is, and where exactly your gizmo is. So you can actually change the gizmo, and you can animate it as well. But I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. So just a quick one on modifiers basically, and how you can see how being able to go back to your object, adding detail, and then doing the twist and doing the taper and the bend afterwards gives you an idea of sort of things you can go and do with it. Quick vid, and hope that sort of helps people understand what's going to be arriving in Core in some sort of fashion. Hopefully it's got a few extra features. I do like the idea of being able to switch things on and off, so I hope that does appear. I'll imagine it will. And that's about it really. And also being able to change the order of the stack, that'll be good. The other thing we've got on here is, so far I'm doing my chamfered box at the moment, just before we quit this, is if I really want to see what my chamfered box is all about, and I've got this twist, taper and blah blah blah, I could go and switch them all off. But imagine you've got quite a big stack with like 10 or 15 things, and you just want to go and check something, you've got to switch all these little buttons off to mute it, or you've got like a master mute thing. This is basically saying show the end result. So it's basically say I'm back down at the chamfered box area, everything else look at it and show me it in the viewport, or switch it off and it switches it off, so I can quickly go and see what actual geometry height I do have here. Okay, so I think that one might be a good idea. So we've got this show end result thing and this muting thing here. I think that sort of covers it, doesn't it? And that will just be about it for this pink box chamfered thing, or chamfered box even. Yeah, so ha ha ha. Catch you again another time maybe. Cheers, see ya.